Have you ever wondered why financial downturns can sometimes accelerate with frightening speed, turning a small tremor into a full-blown economic earthquake? It seems like a sudden collective fear grips markets, making things much worse than they initially appeared. Yes, panic feedback loops are indeed a primary driver in the origins and escalation of economic crises. These powerful mechanisms transform isolated financial stress into widespread systemic collapse by amplifying fear and irrational behavior across markets. The core mechanism of a panic feedback loop involves a cycle of deteriorating expectations and actions. It begins when an initial negative event, like a company defaulting or a significant market correction, sparks concern among investors and the public. This concern leads to a rush to sell assets or withdraw funds, which then drives down asset prices further and depletes liquidity. The falling prices and vanishing liquidity validate the initial fears, causing even more people to panic and withdraw, thus creating a self-reinforcing downward spiral. This phenomenon is often fueled by information asymmetry, where market participants act on incomplete or unequal information, and herd behavior, where individuals mimic the actions of a larger group. Historically, we have seen these loops manifest clearly in bank runs, such as during the Great Depression, where depositors lost confidence and simultaneously demanded their money back. The banks, unable to meet these demands because they operate on fractional reserve systems, would then collapse. Similarly, stock market crashes often involve a rapid collective sell-off, triggered by initial price declines and amplified by margin calls and automated selling, leading to a severe market contraction. Understanding these historical instances helps illustrate how a crisis can originate not just from underlying economic weakness but from the psychological and structural reactions to it. Economists refer to a similar concept as reflexivity, where participants' perceptions influence the fundamentals, which in turn alters perceptions. A liquidity trap, for instance, is a related scenario where conventional monetary policy becomes ineffective because interest rates are near zero, and people hoard cash due to extreme uncertainty, reinforcing deflationary pressures. Central banks and regulators often intervene in crises precisely to break these feedback loops, providing emergency liquidity or guarantees to restore confidence and prevent total collapse. Recognizing the anatomy of panic feedback loops provides a crucial lens for understanding financial market history and the policy responses aimed at stabilization. It reveals that economic crises are not merely statistical events but are deeply intertwined with human psychology and systemic structures. Understanding these dynamics helps us appreciate the fragility of confidence in markets and the critical role of timely, decisive action in preventing a localized tremor from becoming a catastrophic global event.